There is one single number sitting somewhere in your tax history right now. And that number is going to determine whether $2,000 lands in your bank account or completely passes you by. Here is what you need to understand immediately. This is not a rumor. This is not clickbait. The President of the United States posted a direct statement saying a dividend of at least $2,000, and I am quoting him word for word, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone. Low-income Americans, fixed-income Americans, people on Social Security, people on SSI, people on SSDI. This check, if it moves forward, is specifically designed around your income level and your tax record. And the people most likely to receive the full $2,000 automatically without lifting a finger are sitting in this exact audience right now. But there is something critically important you need to hear before you make any assumptions. And most videos covering this story are skipping right past it. Stay with me because I am going to walk you through the complete eligibility picture, the one legal obstacle nobody is fully explaining, and exactly what position you are in as of today. Let us be completely straight with you from the start, because your trust matters more than views. This $2,000 check is a formal active proposal with White House backing. It is not law yet. No payments have gone out. But dismissing it as just a rumor would also be inaccurate, because here is what has actually happened at the official government level. In November 2025, President Trump posted publicly on Truth Social, and these are his direct words. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone. That same month, National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett confirmed on record that the president would bring a formal proposal to Congress to make it happen. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri took it one step further and introduced actual legislation. A bill called the American Worker Rebate Act of 2025, specifically designed to send tariff-funded rebate checks to working and low-income Americans. And as recently as this week, the White House sent a direct email to supporters stating, and again, this is a quote, that the administration is committed to putting that revenue to good use for the American people. So the question is not whether this was proposed. It absolutely was at the highest level of government. The question is whether it becomes real and whether you qualify. That is exactly what we are breaking down right now. Before we go further, drop a comment right now. Are you on SSI, SSDI, or Social Security retirement? Just type SSI, SSDI, or retirement in the comments. This matters because each group has a different path to receiving this payment, and I want to know which section of this video is most important for you. Now, here's the part that you came here for, the exact eligibility picture based on the proposal framework and prior stimulus precedent. This check is built around one core principle, income. The president was explicit. High-income people are excluded. So, the first question you need to ask yourself is this. What is my adjusted gross income? Based on the legislative framework being discussed in Congress and the income model used during the co-stimulus programs, here is where the lines are most likely to be drawn. If you are a single filer, meaning you file your taxes alone, the qualifying income threshold is expected to be set at $75,000 per year or below. If you are married and filing jointly with your spouse, that threshold is expected to be around $150,000 combined. If you file as head of household, the number sits near $112,500. Now, here is where this becomes very personal for this audience. Let us look at the actual numbers of what seniors in this country are living on right now. The average Social Security retirement benefit in 2026 is approximately $1,900 per month. That is just under $23,000 per year. That is nearly $52,000 below the single filer threshold. The maximum federal SSI payment in 2026 is $994 per month, just under $12,000 per year. SSDI recipients average around $1,580 per month, roughly $19,000 annually. Every single one of these figures places the typical SSI, SSDI, and Social Security retirement recipient comfortably within the qualifying income range. And not just barely within it, significantly within it. But here is the detail that almost nobody is covering, and this one may genuinely surprise you. During the CO stimulus programs, SSI and SSDI recipients and Social Security retirement beneficiaries did not have to file a tax return to receive their checks. They received their payments automatically. The IRS worked directly with the Social Security Administration used the payment information already on file, and deposited the money directly into the same account where your monthly benefit arrives. No application, no phone call, no website to visit. It happened automatically because the government already knows exactly where to send your money. Every policy expert and former White House advisor who has weighed in on this proposal has stated clearly that if this program passes, the same automatic distribution model would be used again. Which means if you are currently receiving SSI, SSDI, or Social Security retirement benefits, and your income falls within the thresholds we just covered, you would not need to do anything to receive this payment. Your information is already on file. The direct deposit is already set up. You would simply receive it. That is significant. That is the kind of detail that changes how you think about your eligibility. But now I need to tell you something that most videos are either glossing over or completely ignoring. Because right now there is one serious obstacle standing between you and that check. And it changed everything just a few weeks ago. The Supreme Court made a ruling in February of this year that directly hit the funding source for this $2,000 check. I am going to explain exactly what happened, why it matters, and most critically whether it actually ends this proposal or whether there is still a realistic path forward. Do not click away because the answer is not what most people are assuming. On February 20th, 2026, the United States Supreme Court issued a 6-3 decision striking down a major portion of President Trump's tariff authority. The court ruled that the administration had overstepped its powers under a 1977 federal law used to justify the tariffs. This matters because the president had specifically tied the $2,000 dividend checks to tariff revenue, stating that the money collected from foreign countries would be returned directly to the American people. With the legal basis for those tariffs struck down, the revenue stream that was going to fund your check became legally complicated overnight. Here's where it gets nuanced and where you need to pay close attention. The administration responded immediately. President Trump signed an executive order imposing a new 10% global tariff under a completely different legal authority and then raised that rate to 15%. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent publicly stated that tariff revenue is expected to remain robust under this alternative legal framework. The White House's position stated on record to major news outlets is that the commitment to these payments has not changed. However, financial experts are speaking more cautiously. Stephen Cates, a certified financial planner and analyst at Bankrate, told CNBC that the odds of this specific policy moving forward are, in his exact words, now effectively zero because any program of this scale requires Congress to pass it into law, and the political environment in Washington makes that path extremely difficult right now. So, the honest picture is this. The White House says it is still happening. Independent economists say the obstacles are severe. The truth likely sits somewhere in the middle, and the next few months in Congress will tell the full story. Here is a question I want your honest answer on in the comments. Do you believe Congress will actually pass this $2,000 payment before the end of 2026? Type yes, no, or maybe below because what this community believes matters and your responses help shape what we cover next. Before we get to your action steps, there is a warning you need to hear immediately because this news story is already being weaponized against seniors. Scammers are actively calling, texting, and emailing people right now claiming they need to register for the $2,000 check, verify their Social Security number, or pay a small processing fee to unlock the payment. Every single one of these is a fraud. There is no registration portal. There is no processing fee. There is no website where you sign up. If any payment program is ever authorized, your payment will arrive the exact same way your monthly Social Security benefit arrives. Nothing extra required. If anyone contacts you asking for your banking information, your Social Security number, or any payment to process this check, hang up immediately and report it to the FTC at reportfraud.fttc.gov. Here is your practical action plan for today, and it is simpler than you might think. First, know your adjusted gross income from your most recent tax return or from your annual Social Security benefit statement. That number determines your eligibility, and you should know it. If you are not sure, your local Social Security office can help you understand your annual benefit amount. Second, make sure your direct deposit information with the Social Security Administration is current and accurate. If you ever changed banks and did not update your payment information, this is the time to fix that at ssa.gov. Third, Follow only verified sources for updates on this proposal. The SSA official website, the IRS official website, and established news organizations like CNBC, PBS NewsHour, and Kiplinger. That is where official announcements will appear first. And if this video is giving you the kind of clear, honest information you have been struggling to find online, then subscribing to this channel is genuinely worth your time. Every verified update on this $2,000 proposal, every Social Security change, every COLA announcement, every federal benefit update that affects your life will be covered here first in plain language without agenda. Here is everything in plain language. President Trump formally proposed a $2,000 payment for low and moderate income Americans funded by tariff revenue. The income threshold is expected to be $75,000 for single filers and $150,000 for married couples. The vast majority of SSI, SSDI, and Social Security recipients fall well within that qualifying range. If the program passes, automatic distribution through the SSA is the most likely method, meaning most of you would receive it without taking any action. The Supreme Court's February 2026 tariff ruling has complicated the funding source, but the White House says its commitment remains. Congress has not yet passed this into law. No checks have been sent. The realistic timeline, if it happens, is late 2026, and no legitimate program will ever ask you to register, pay a fee, or share personal information with anyone who contacts you. Last question, and this one is important. Did you find this video more helpful than what you have been seeing on this topic elsewhere? If yes, type the word clear in the comments. It helps this channel reach more seniors who need accurate information, and it lets me know this kind of honest breakdown is exactly what this community wants more of. Hit subscribe and tap the bell right now. The moment there is any confirmed development on this $2,000 payment, whether Congress schedules a vote, whether the White House submits a formal proposal, or whether any payment date is officially announced, you will be the first to know. You have worked your entire life for your benefits. You deserve straight answers from a source you can actually trust. This channel is that source.